It was a great day for the Lorcana Luminaries. We had many new cards revealed for Into the Inklands, including 13 in a Lorcana Main Stage event on their official Discord. Members of the Illuminary Gazette were present for this meeting to take notes on all the cards shown off to fans of Busy Lorcana. They've collected their notes and are ready to share. What is going on, everyone? Teddy here from the Glimmer Gang, and I've been hired by the Illuminary Gazette to cover Disney Lorcana. The first card we have here is the event promo, which will be at different conventions and Ravensburger events during Into the Inklands. And it is Scrooge McDuck, Uncle Moneybags. He is a Dreamborn hero, 2 cost, inkable, 1 strength, 3 willpower, with 1 lore, treasure finder. Whenever this character quests, you may pay 1 less for the next item you play this turn. Obviously, we have seen a numerous amount of cards like this during the Into the Inklands reveal season, and it kind of is showing that maybe these items are going to see more play, or at least pushing to see more play. And I like it. I think there is definitely a space for item decks. Obviously, we've seen cards like Lucky Dime be more Obviously, seen cards like Lucky Dime be revealed, which is our first legendary, which has a very nice payoff. So I'm very excited to see what this Scrooge McDuck brings and where exactly we're going to be getting him in terms of these events. I'm going to talk about 4 cards now. These are all the OP promos we have for Into the Inklands. We have How Far I'll Go, an action song. This is a 4 cost uninkable, and it says, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put one into your hand and the other into your inkwell face down and exerted. Card is great. Right off the bat, I think this is going to be a very nice 4 cost. Obviously, we have seen 4 cost be a very interesting spot for cards in the game. And the fact that this is a song, it can be sung, is really nice, and it's going to be really easy to get. So I do see this going into a lot of Sapphire decks where they don't struggle a lot with uninkable. Obviously other inks can, but I do think How Far I'll Go is going to be a nice card. One, to be able to get more cards in your hand, and also just get more ink in the ramp that Sapphire brings. The next one is John Silver, Greedy Treasure Seeker. As you can see, he has all of those keywords that we saw like on the first card in the first chapter set from him, Emerald 1. He's a 3 cost inkable, 3/3 for 1 lore, and his ability says, chart your own course. For each location you have in play, this character gains resist +1 and gets +1 lore. Our first real payoff for playing locations. We still do not have a lot of locations. As you can see, we did get one more as the Jolly Roger, which I'll talk about in a second. But John Silver, Greedy Treasure Seeker, does in fact care about locations. And he doesn't have to be a location for this to trigger. There just has to be locations in play. And I do like it. I think it's going to be interesting. I don't know. Uh, there's been talk in the community about how relevant locations are going to be. That is all up for determination once we get the full set, with there being 18 locations. But yeah, John Silver, this is going to be very interesting. Obviously, always going to be easy to get. I see this being a rare or lower. I don't think they would put a promo at the higher rarities. The next card is a card that everyone has been wanting. Kit Cloud Kicker, Tough Guy. Another 3 cost inkable, inkable on Emerald, which is wild. 2 strength, 2 willpower with 1 lore, Storyborn Ally, and his ability Skysurfing says whenever you play this character, you may return chosen opposing character with 2 strength or less to their player's hand. This is a great tempo card to be able to just say, oh, you have that on your board? Nope, not anymore. You are going to be able to play this down and just maybe slow down the game a little bit. If you are going in, say, like aggro, this can help just put that card right back in their hand, slow them down a little bit so you have the ability to catch up. I do like Kate Cloud Clicker, especially for that ink ability in Emerald. Now, Jolly Roger Hook Ship. It is a 1 cost uninkable location, 2 movement, cost 5 willpower. Its first ability says, look alive, use swabs. Characters gain rush while here. That is really nice. I do think that is going to be interesting. And it does work well with the next ability, all hands on deck. Your pirate characters may move here for free. So going back to the John Silver we just talked about, play that down, move it there, and they have rush. So basically, if you have Jolly Roger, your pirate characters gain rush the turn they come down as soon as they move there. I'm interested to see how this card works. We don't have that many pirates yet. I think it's around 12. So there aren't that many uses for that second ability. But the first ability I still do like. With the 2 movement cost, you are able to get characters here easier later in the game. And getting any character rush is always great, as we've seen with like Maui and all of that. Our next card that was revealed is Ursula Sea Witch. She is a 3-cost uninkable card in Amethyst, a 3/3 for Strength, Willpower, Dreamborn Villain Sorcerer with 1 lore. And its ability is You're Too Late. Whenever this character quests, chosen opposing character can't ready at the start of their next turn. I like that a lot. Obviously, we revealed the Queen of Hearts card that cares about villains, and she's a villain. I think this does fit well into there because obviously that deck is all about questing, and when you have a quest payoff like this, like if you have an opposing character that maybe quested last time and you just want to get them, you want to stop them, keep them down for one more turn. Maybe you have a card in your hand that's going to be able to rush in and remove them, something like that. I do really like You're Too Late and this Ursula Sea Witch. It is amazing art. Obviously, John Lauren, we all know how amazing he is. He goes above and beyond with everything. And this is just another example of how art can bring a card together, and it does that so well. I sound probably like Liam and Aaron right now, which I am totally for because this is just an amazing card. And that flavor text also, the secret contract has already been written. What secret contract are we talking about? Interesting to see what could come from that. The next one we have is Emerald Draw with Strike a Good Match, 2-cost inkable, another inkable card in Emerald, which is wild. This is a song too. It says draw 2 cards, then choose and discard a card. This is as close to unconditional draw that we will get with Emerald so far, that we've seen at least. And obviously drawing 2 cards, but only after discarding 1, and it can be any card in your hand. I do think that's really good. This is one of the better commons we've seen. Great for limited as well, just because it's too drop this down, draw 2 more cards, and especially a format where you can't really draw that well. Once you hit that like turn 7, turn 8, unless you do have cards like this, you're just top decking. This is going to, I think, win some limited games in the future. The next 2 cards we got were cards that deal with location damage removal. Quick Patch is a 1-cost action inkable in Amber, and it says remove the 3 damage from chosen location, and then Repair is a 2-cost inkable action in Sapphire. It says remove the 3 damage from one of your locations or characters. We've been wondering when cards like this would come. I do like Repair because it can target characters, and obviously the 1 cost up at 2 does make sense. I do like these. I think it'll be interesting to see how much they are played with how much locations are played. I think that is what these cards are dependent on. Repair could be played very well just for the fact that you can heal from your characters. But a lot of interesting things to go with this, and it's just going to be a waiting game to see if these cards are played. The next card we have is Gizmo Suit, and this is an item in Steel. It's a 3-cost inkable. It says Cybernetic Armor. Banish this item. Chosen character gains resist +2 until the start of your next turn. Resist, we've seen how great it can be. This can really help in some scenarios when you need to keep character alive for one more turn. Gizmo Suit can come into play and be clutch there. But the flavor text is what is interesting, and it was pointed out by Rochelle during the main stage event. It says, it stands in the hall of Lorcana waiting for someone to speak the secret words. While this is straight into the storytelling. I know our co-host Levram Blake will love that. Just more stuff about the lore of Lorcana, their story building through these cards. I think that's some of a big theme with the Into the Inkland set. Obviously, we are traveling outside of the Great Illuminary, and we are now going into more stories and seeing more things. And this story building that's doing is really nice to see. And I think we're all really excited to see where it goes, what they do with it, and it is going to. It's going to be really special, I think, to be able to see this world be built from the ground up. It is something that we've all been waiting for, like I said, and Gizmo Suit just gives us one more clue as to what that may be. The final 3 cards that we got were 3 Magicka Dispel cards. These are very interesting. The first one is a 2-cost inkable vanilla card. It's Ambitious Witch, Storyborn Villain Sorcerer. All of these are besides the Floodborn over there. She's a 2 willpower, 3 strength with 1 lore. The next one is a 4-cost Magicka Dispel, Thieving Sorceress, again, Storyborn Villain Sorcerer, 3 strength, 4 willpower with 2 lore. Telekinesis, exert, return chosen item with cost equal to or less than this character's strength to its player's hand. That is very interesting. I will touch on this real quick because this can be manipulated. You have cards that support and are able to get things back into your hand a lot easier. The highest costing item we have is Lucky Dime. And if you're able to get Magicka back to your hand, then just play it down. I don't know if you'll be able to doing it with that specific card, but like you can manipulate this. It works well with all of the other item decks that we've seen. I think it works well with Sapphire, and you can just go boom, 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 get multiple popsicles back into your hand during your turn. And the final card we'll talk about is Magica Dispel, the Midas Touch. 7 cost uninkable, Floodborn Villain Sorcerer, so he's a super rare. 4 strength, 6 willpower, shift 5, all mine. Whenever this character quests, gain lore equal to the cost of one of your items in play. This is where I'm like, my head's spinning on what could happen, because the flavor text even says, I can feel my powers growing the closer I get to Scrooge's precious dime. We know what that dime says. We know what the cost of the diamonds, which is 7. So if you do that, if you quest, you are questing for 7, which is nuts. And no, you can't do 14. There is no lore printed on Magicka, and this card says gain lore equal to the cost of one of your items in play. So Magicka isn't gaining the lore, but you, the player, are gaining the lore to go to 20. But that is crazy that you could be at 13 and shift this down, have Lucky Diamond play, and win. That is probably one of the most boom or explosive plays we've seen that just says, oh, maybe I'm too far behind or I still need a few more turns. Nope, just play this down, quest, and you have won the game. I do like these cards. I think they are going to be interesting. Obviously, another villain in Amethyst Amber to mess with for that Queen of Hearts deck, which we're always thinking of. Stay tuned for a video on that in the future, by the way, because that is definitely something we are going to talk about. But that was the 3 Magic cards, and that was the first edition of the Illuminary Gazette. We hope you all enjoyed, and we are excited to be reporting on more Lorcana reveals as they come and more Lorcana news as it comes in the future.